What's up, everybody? Welcome to another show, SBR NBA show from SBR. Make sure you guys go to sbrpicks.com/NBA. Check out all the articles, the NBA content we have over there. I'm your host, Jay Bunny. That's Jordan Sharp. There's my guy, Junior Browne. We're here to break down these games, these NBA games. This Wednesday, we're gonna recap yesterday. The guy, John Wick, you're working on that movie, my guy. Everything good with you? How was your day yesterday?
Yeah, a few days of production in the movie business last couple of days. This could have been on the show, but basketball-wise, I've been taking it a little easy. I haven't had too much luck lately. I lost my last two picks, one on Sunday, one on Monday. Took yesterday off, even though I almost lost a third one because I was this close to jumping on the under in the Pacers and Blazers. But glad I didn't because that barely cashed the over. I know Junior was talking about that before the show, how that stung him yesterday. Very unfortunate. Pacers, they've been dead for a few weeks, but man, it's the first time in 31 years they don't have a winning record at home this year. So that's pretty embarrassing around these parts. But hey, they still have a chance to make the playoffs. So I guess it is what it is. We'll see if they can do that. But yeah, not great over the last couple of days. Didn't have anything yesterday. How about you? How about you, Junior?
Yeah, the under was pretty tough. I had the under, what was it, 242, and they ended at 245. That was pretty tough. And I lost on the Brooklyn first quarter. The Raptors actually ended up winning the first quarter. So I went 2 for 2. I had Brooklyn trifecta. They won the first half. They won the full game, obviously. So whatever, 2 and 2, lost a little bit of money on the juice, but looking to bounce back today. What about you, Jay?
Yeah, it was a nice day, man. I ended up riding on the Blazers. I really gave that. I didn't have any official on the show, but I told people Bucks, Blazers, and Mavs, my guys. That's what I'm looking at. End up rocking with the Blazers. Obviously, after the Pacers didn't have a single center yesterday, guys. So I mean, that's why I just wait to see who confirmed in for the lineups. It made me like the Blazers even more. They didn't have Lamb, and all three of their centers were out. So I mean, the Blazers were up by 40 points at one point in that game. It's absolute smack city. How they got, got back right. But the Thunder, I'm watching this game versus Celtics, guys. I mean, the Thunder versus Celtics, and the Thunder, they win the game for the first time forever. This Celtics is a joke, man. I just can't believe they lost that game. I mean, it happens. Just 11 points. They shouldn't have been laying 11 points. They're like a joke of a team. The Brad Stevens he's just pretty much just out there telling whoever to come in or out. It's not really coaching right now. So maybe they may have to look at something. But Bucks, they got lucky versus the Hornets over there, and then win their game by 10. They were laying 9.5. Hornets actually played a pretty good game. Blazers smack up the Pacers 133-112. Nets get it done over the Raptors 116-103. The Timberwolves made some easy money for a lot of people 114-107. They almost pissed it away, but the boys are Carlton Towns. Everybody's playing. They're not resting guys. So should be a taking team, Timberwolves. They're not resting anybody. They're coming to play every day, my guys. Mavs, Smack City, 133-103. Keep disrespecting them. When they do that, that's when they come out. Oh, it was never a game. It was never a game. Steph out there airballing. Mavs up by 40 at one point. Absolutely love it. Supposed to be a playoff type game for the Warriors. I don't know about those guys over there. Let's get to today's games, my guys. Here's what you're here for. First game up, Jordan, Lakers versus Wizards. Line opened up at 3 for the Lakers down. It did touch Wizards -1. What the hell's going on here? Jordan, can you explain the line movement here?
I cannot. I will say this though, because I this morning I looked at these lines and I was ready to bet the under, and then it shot up 3 points. So I have no idea what's going on with the line movement on either side of this game. I will say this though, I still think the under may have some value. I'm not jumping on it just yet unless I see this number kind of cool down a little bit on the steam heading upwards here. But depending on the pace, if the Wizards play at their style of pace, that would be very bad for this game. But if the Lakers are able to take control and dictate that area, the Wizards haven't played great defense, but it has been a lot better over their hot streak here. So I at least have to think that this being kind of one of the bigger home games for the Wizards, they just started allowing home fans, I think, a few weeks ago. This is a pretty big game for them, so it doesn't surprise me to see that the Wizards have caught some steam. But it's definitely, I don't think I'm going to get involved at this one here. But doing get involved, it'll be on the under, but I haven't gotten there yet.
Got Junior. This sharp money coming in on the Wiz all morning. It pushes to -1. What you think is going on with this one? You like the Wizards here, the home dog?
You can make an argument for either side of this, right? Like, you can make an argument that this is a pretty cheap price for the Lakers. But if you're watching the Lakers since AD came back, hasn't really worked out the way they would have liked. They haven't looked all the way right. Even in that win against Orlando, I mean, I don't know. They really only pulled away at the end of that game if you actually watch the game. But it's an encouraging sign for Lakers fans that AD played 31 minutes and, he still didn't look all the way right, but he wasn't terrible. I think it's a stay away. I think it's a watch and see where the Lakers are, because no matter what, you have to figure that all of these games matter to them in terms of the standings. There's only like 10 games left in the season, so it's not like they're going to make some miracle run without games remaining. They need to start piling up wins. They're a much better team than the Wizards, but that being said, I'm not stepping in front of the Wizards right now. Even their last loss, you put up 143 points and lose the game, you're still scrapping, you're still fighting, you're still clawing. They still have life over there. So I'm kind of just going to stay away from it. If I do get involved in this game, it'll be a live bet, if anything.
Got you. Yeah, it's a tough game, guy. I'll say if Lakers are nothing for me, looking to the game, obviously it is a little revenge spot for the Lakers. And if you look at, they do lose this game, they will go 1-3 on this road trip. I don't think they want to do that. They have been playing a lot better basketball. I watched the game versus the Magic. They were up 16, 18 points in the first quarter. They kind of just let go of the ropes, had to pretty much come back and win that game twice. So in my eyes, I don't think this line is going in the right direction. I think it was already short at the 3. And when I saw it touch Wizards -1, I'm like, okay, what's going on? Somebody out or nothing? Something doesn't look like anybody might be out except for maybe Caruso. Obviously, LeBron, he's on this road trip. I think he's telling them, hey, y'all need to get some revenge over these Wizards. They couldn't beat them last time. No AD. Drummond wasn't playing yet, but they had LeBron. They were laying 7 at the house. Wizards had 66 points in the paint. I think this particular game, you got Davis, you have Drummond, you have to force them to shoot those outside threes. If they do that, I think the Lakers come away with a win, go 2-2 on this road trip, my guys. So this is one where it's definitely Lakers are nothing for. I know everybody likes the Wizards today, but it's Lakers are nothing for me, my guys. Maybe somebody is out though. See what's up with the line movement. See, this game starts at 7:00 Eastern, my guys. So wait and see. 7:30 Eastern. Wait and see who's gonna play. That's the game. That's the first game. First handicap today's NBA. Who's gonna play? Next game up, my guys. Hawks versus 76ers here. Hawks coming off a loss. 76ers coming off a huge win. Everybody chose to play versus the Thunder. You know how it is. We're gonna beat up on the Weekies. Junior Browne, what we doing here? This ain't the Thunder. Are they? You laying the 8 with the 76ers here, or are you looking towards a total, my guy?
I mean, my lean is the total right now. I don't have an official play on this game. Without Trae Young, I can't get involved with the Hawks. I can tell you that. I think this total is pretty low, 215. But again, that's obviously based on the injury of Trae Young and the fact that the 76ers are not a great offensive team. I just don't really want to underestimate the Hawks because even without Trae Young, they really haven't been that bad. They've still competed. They beat the Bucks obviously before being in a tough situation where they had to play the next day at Detroit with a shortened roster. So, but they've beaten the Heat. They've beaten some decent teams. Obviously, the Heat are struggling, but they beat the Heat without Trae Young, and they beat them by margin. So, every time I underestimate this team, it seems like they've shown me that they actually still got some fight in there, and they're actually a little bit better than we might think they are. They're certainly not a one-man team. So, if anything, I would actually take the points with the Hawks. I think that when you're asking the 76ers to win by margin, you're kind of asking a lot. They'll do that against the bottom feeders, but I may be being a bit contradictory because I used to say that I was fade the Hawks, but I mean I can't pretend I'm not seeing what I'm seeing, and that's the fact that the Hawks are competitive with or without Trae Young and a whole host of other dudes. I got to show these guys a little bit more respect, so it would actually be my lean would be the Hawks.
Got you. This is the first game of a back-to-back. Is not back-to-back, but first game of a little two-game little baseball series, Jordan. Be interested to see what happens with this one. Hey, you might just want to go see what's up with this game and go opposite the next game. It's been working out pretty much all season. What do you think will happen in this first matchup here, Jordan? Look, the total looks like it's been steamed down from 220, 215. Obviously, long injury report for the Hawks here, my guy.
Yeah, the issue is just the Hawks. We just don't know who's going to play. Like literally right as the show came on, too. Bogdanovich got ruled questionable as well. You got Brandon Goodwin, who could be out as well. So you're down basically your top three ball handlers with Trae Young already out. Then your entire wing depth has been decimated as well. So, I mean, it's going to be really tough if the Sixers clamp down on defense, which I firmly expect them to do after slipping out of that number one spot. It's kind of an interesting situation, too, for the Hawks. Like, if you're the Hawks, would you rather stay in that 4-5 matchup and play the Knicks in the first round? Or would you rather slip down to 6 and play the Bucks? Like, I don't think that's like actually set in stone just yet of who they would rather play. The Knicks have been red hot versus the Bucks team that we've talked about has had their struggles, especially on the defensive end. If you're the Hawks, you're maybe just sitting some guys out in this one, bring them back for this next game against Philly in the little home and home. I'm strong lean towards the Philadelphia 76ers here. That Bogdanovich news is kind of sending it northward as well. So I may have to jump on here before the end of the show here. I haven't convinced myself just yet, but all signs to me point to the 76ers here. I know the Hawks have been scrappy. I know they've been good. They're just missing way too many bodies tonight if both Goodwin and Bogdanovich are out along with all the other guys that are out today. Herter's doubtful. Like there's so many scoring options that they're not going to have tonight. And I just don't know who's gonna handle the ball for them if Bogdanovich is out. And Lou Williams is just not a facilitator. He can get his own, but he's just not at this stage going to get everybody else involved as much as they need to in this one. So strong lead towards the Sixers. I'll probably get there here in just a second if I see this line start shooting up.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I didn't even see that Bogdanovich was out, that he was questionable. And I just wanted to say something real quick, guys, because I saw something yesterday that I'm starting to notice. These teams they'll put guys on the injury report, and it's kind of like to get money on it. I'm not necessarily saying that it's the books, but so just prime example, the Mavs had 4 players. They actually had 6 players on the injury report yesterday, but 2 of them we knew that was going to be doubtful. The 4 of them, the fact that they even put Luka on the injury report because he wasn't on there, they put him on there questionable. Obviously, the line started shooting up. It's like they just kind of playing the game with us to get money on one side or the other. Then they're announced in. It's like, oh, that questionable tag didn't even matter. The line went up. It didn't even matter because they're playing. So it's just kind of crazy. See, it's a game. I've never seen anything like this in the NBA. The reason why I'm saying it. So obviously you want to see what's up with Bogdanovich. Huerter as well is doubtful for the Hawks. Godwin is questionable. These are all their ball handlers. I mean, Lou Williams is going to play, but he's pretty much going to be the only ball handler out there. It's going to be tough, man. But I just said all that to say, wait till the closer to game time, guys. See who's playing. This is a game that I've never seen before of these questionable tags. I know the other day we had 27 NBA players on the questionable tag. Never seen anything like it before. They know if these guys are playing or not, man. It's straight up BS. But yeah, I guess right now we'll be leaning towards the 76ers, a full squad. The way their defense has been rolling, my guys.
Yeah, Chad.
What's up, Junior?
Sorry to interrupt you. I just finished saying I lean Atlanta. I didn't know that Bogdanovich was questionable either. Obviously, if he's not playing, I don't want any parts of Atlanta because they just have no ball handlers playing. Yeah,
they'll get smacked. The game will probably likely go under. Like if they didn't play, you look at the Hawks team total under, you look towards the under, and then the Philly, they probably smack them up. If they don't sit anybody.
Bogdanovich saw that Ben Simmons was going to be guarding him all night tonight. He said, I might sit this one out, guys. I'm not feeling like it tonight.
But he's been cooking, though. Bogdanovich has been on fire.
He's been their best player for like the last 3 weeks or whatever it's been. Yeah, he's been on fire.
So that's why I can't get involved with them if he's not playing. This is nonsense, honestly, bro.
Yeah,
it is, man. It is. So there you have. Be looking towards Philly, guys. But like I say, today's NBA, Philly see that they're wounded over there. They're like, okay, we'll rest. We have room to rest a couple guys as well. So now, MB, you sit down. Nah, I'm messing with it. That's what happens, guys. No lie. Don't be surprised if it happens. Next game up, Bulls versus Knicks. The Knicks, you have to respect the Knicks. They don't rest guys. Any willy-nilly bullshit. They play hard every single night. Bulls, don't look now. Bulls have won, wish Blackjay was here. Bulls have won 4 out of 5, Jordan. You look what they're doing. They're running Tice. They run this big lineup with Tice and Vucevic out there. What you think about this game? Can they keep it close versus the Knicks, or do the Knicks run away with this one, my guy?
They're gonna have to run that lineup a lot tonight because that's exactly where the Knicks are strong down there with Randall and Nerlens Noel. So I mean, if it's really tough. This total I saw shoot up there this morning. I'm kind of sad. I kind of missed that because 207.5 was really low. Just I think the Knicks have cashed 3 straight overs now. 7 of their last 8 have gone over, and it's mainly just been their offense. Their defense has still been there most nights. Yeah, they've gotten to some shootouts with some teams here. So I'm kind of trying to talk myself into why I'm not betting the over into this game here because all the kind of signs point to this game being a higher scoring game. I think the only thing that scares me a little bit is that I just can't guarantee the Bulls are going to score over 100 points in this game because if New York is locked in that area, which they very well could be tonight, this could very easily go under. It could be a 105-98 style of game. So probably going to lay off. Can't get really beat on it, but you lean over. And I think that correlates with the Knicks winning tonight if the over cashes as well. So for whatever that's worth, but probably not going to get any money on it for myself tonight.
Gotcha. Got over in the Knicks game. Hey, man, with the Bulls, they had just went over versus the Heat in the last game. So be interesting to see, Junior, what do you think about this one? Do the Knicks bounce back or do the Bulls continue to play a better basketball without Zach LaVine?
I don't know, but I love this line movement. Knicks -4 official play. Knicks are a better team here. I know that the Bulls have been playing better lately. But again, for me, it kind of goes back to quality of wins and losses. The Bulls are not really beating any good teams. I know they beat Miami the other day, but we know about Miami's up and down struggles. They beat Charlotte. Okay. They beat Cleveland. All right. You know what I'm saying? They beat a super struggling Boston team. Anyways, my point is they're playing better by their standards, but they're still not a better team than this Knicks team. Especially not in a situation where they're going to Madison Square Garden. I think the Knicks knew they weren't on the Suns' level. Excuse me, but they played pretty well in that game. If you watch that game in the beginning, they actually were taking it to the Suns, and the Suns had to come back and then pull away. So don't get it twisted. The Knicks can compete, and I think that the Knicks will look at that game and want to bounce back and come back with a solid display here. Another thing that I looked into when I was checking out the numbers, Vucevic has played the Knicks 3 times this season as a member of the Orlando Magic. Now, in the season, he averages 24 points on almost 50% shooting, but against the Knicks, he's averaging 19 points on like 43% shooting. So his numbers are worse, actually, against the Knicks. And I think that, no offense to Daniel, Tice, and Vooch, I don't think that scares the Knicks front line, if I'm going to be honest with you. The Knicks play that real defense. And if it's your front line against their front line, I think they like their chances. Where the Knicks struggle is kind of with their backcourt. So, not to be long-winded.
That's the thing.
I don't like
Junior.
late points with the Knicks. Don't get me wrong. But I ain't scared of the Chicago Bulls backcourt. I can promise you that. So it's Knicks -4 official play for me.
That's the thing. That's what I was gonna say, Junior. I'm with you on that. I would take the Knicks here. I don't agree with it going down from 5-4. That's the thing. They're missing LaVine here. So the 2 games they played already, the Bulls, they played them in Chicago. Bulls beat them the first game, 110-102. Then the Knicks come back and get the revenge in this game. Obviously, Zach LaVine played in those games. Zach LaVine is the type of player that you need to ball versus the Knicks, and that's the reason why the Suns were able to overcome. You have players like Chris Paul, like Devin Booker, that can take over a game, one offensive player. Now, without LaVine out there, the Bulls don't really have that. You're going to need Kobe White and Temple to go off. That's their main ball handlers. That's the reason why I would like the Knicks today. They have suffocating defense. I think that Tice and Vucevic could give them some problems, but it's the guards to where the Knicks would just eat them boys up, in my opinion, man. So it's Knicks or nothing for me here. I actually like the Knicks -4, my guys. I hadn't hopped on it now, but I might have to hop on the Knicks here. I'd heavy lean to Knicks first half -2 and Knicks full game -4 for me, my guys. That's what I would play in this particular game, Jordan. And say if you had a side here, would you be going with the Baby Bulls or would you go lay the points with the Knicks?
No, I'd probably lay the points for sure. The Bulls still have not proven to me without Zach LaVine, even though their defense can still play very well with him off the court, that their offense is going to have any sort of consistency, game to game. So yeah, I would probably lay the points here. Still Tibbs revenge time, baby. We're still running with the Thibodeau revenge games here narrative. So yeah, I'd probably lay the points if I had a free bet.
Yep, and at the house off that loss as well. So and Junior's right. Hey, I had the Suns. It was a sweat, especially start the game off. They scored like 20 points in the first 6 minutes. I'm like, damn, where's Sun defense at, man? So hopefully no letdown. Other than that, still at the house. I think they bounced back here today versus this Bulls squad, my guys. Like the Knicks, man. Like the Knickerbocker. I got some pants on right now. I'm pulling up just a little bit, man. Next game up, we got we have the Hornets versus the C's, I don't know what to call them right now. I can't call them Celtics. They don't earn that name. What are we doing with the Hornets here? They just smacked them up 125 to like 101, Junior. Do you think the Hornets easy money again, or you think the Celtics bounce back off their rock bottom loss last night? Junior, I'm mute, my guy.
All right, sorry, I was just coughing. I told you a while ago I was off the Celtics. Now you're asking me to lay 8 points the day after they were double-digit favorites and lost to a G League team. I don't really know how I could possibly get involved. The Celtics should smack them, I guess. This could only be a live bet situation for me. There's no possible way that I could get involved with this game, this team pregame. Maybe the over is worth a look at 216. Seems pretty low. You'd have to figure the Celtics are going to come out here and score like $110, $115-ish. Can the Hornets hold up their end of the bargain? I'm not too sure, else I would already be on the over. But the Hornets have struggles of their own. So, and don't underestimate the fact that your homie Scary Terry might want to show out against these Celtics and really bust up the spread. So no way, no how am I getting involved in this game.
Yeah, something's going on, Jordan. I'll be honest with you. I'll come out and say I think that's why I'm not on the Celtics here, but I think it's a nice buy low spot for them because nobody's want to take them. Nobody just saw that. Everybody saw they lose to OKC last night. I do view it as a rock bottom loss, and teams usually bounce back when they're coming off a game that they know they had no business losing. Tatum should be back. May even get Robert Williams back here, Jordan. I see the line going up. Somebody knows something. I'll say that, Jordan. What you think about this game?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to tell with both these teams. I have absolutely no idea what either of them are going to do personnel-wise, both coming off of the back-to-back, and I think both as well on their third game in 4 nights. So, and especially like you just said, Jay, they just played one another and Boston got smacked up. But every time I think, like you're just talking about buy low, every time I think there's a Celtics buy low opportunity, it seems like they just like they underwhelm or just absolutely get smacked. Like it's hard to gauge when that Celtics buy low opportunity is going to come. So I don't know if I'm going to get in the business of speculating on that. I will say this though, I think I kind of agree with Junior on the over being a lean here. Celtics 7-5 cashing the over on no rest this season. You got a Hornets team coming in who probably won't be able to play defense against them that well. But now once again, I circle all the way back to what I said at the beginning is I don't know who's playing tonight necessarily, with both teams not yet releasing an injury report last night because they both played. I'll be kind of glued to this 1:30 injury report to see if there's any kind of news on that front. But if there's a lot more offense sitting out, especially on Boston's side potentially, I will probably be staying away from it here. Although I do agree with Junior, 216 just seems like if there's a buy low opportunity, that the over may be it in this game. But I am not touching either of these teams with a 10-foot pole on the spread.
Exactly. I know Kemba Walker is out for sure. If I'm not mistaken,
yeah.
Tatum and Williams should be back. I did see Browne go down last night. Like I like to watch games when it, like to be honest with you, I think it's a total Celtic spot. You already have the revenge spot. They were kind of sort of looking ahead to this game. We know nobody's really getting up against the Thunder. They rested Tatum last night, and they said they were resting Walker for a couple games. So I was glad that they lost. I said, this is what you get for resting players, thinking you're going to have an easy win. I was glad to see them lose, but I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, this actually makes a case even better for the Celtics today in this revenge game. The fact that they lost to the Thunder last night. So I'm not on it. Obviously, the spreads, it's enough room for them to come back and win the game and not cover. You see what I'm saying? Obviously, the Celtics have not been playing good basketball, but I could see them smacking up the Hornets here just for what it's worth. Lean Celtics for me, but I must say I'm with you guys. It's tough to go with it, but I'm just letting you know how I look at games. The Hornets look easy today, my guys. That's the only thing I'm gonna say. It's a trendy dog. Usually doesn't work out well. Spurs versus Heat. Next game up, my guys. The Heat. Oh boy, they're laying points again. Oh boy, Jordan. I know there's no Derek White for the Spurs. Can Lonnie Walker step in there and fill that role? Are you laying points with the Heat? What are we doing?
Absolutely not laying points with the Heat. I am so close to jumping on the Spurs here. You said it, man. The young G, Lonnie Walker. No worries about Derek White being out because Lonnie Walker's going to come in, and especially if the Heat are down. What I know, Hero and Nunn are both questionable as well. Again, like if the Heat are missing those two guys, I'm not too worried. Derek White's a great player. But he was out a lot earlier in the season, and they were still fine. I mean, they have tons of guard depth on this team. Yeah, they're mostly younger and inexperienced guards. They still have a lot of guard depth. And if the Heat are down both those guys, the way the Spurs have been playing defense, they have the second best defense in the league, right behind the Jazz over the last 7. I've just talked about the Spurs defense before. This year, they've been kind of wishy-washy on that area, but it seems to be back. I'm real close on 4.5, man. I like the 4.5. I haven't gotten there yet, but I'm real close.
Got you, Junior. What you think? You max play on the Heat, my guy. What you doing, Junior?
Hell no, I'm not laying points. Spurs are nothing in this spot. I didn't like that Derek White got hurt in the last game. He left the game.
Yeah.
Which is not good because the Spurs really need all of their guards to be at their best. They're kind of shaky when one of those guys gets kind of taken out of the rotation. But now you see that Kendrick Nunn and Tyler Hero are both questionable for Miami, so that would pretty much cancel each other out. And actually, it's a pretty big blow for Miami because it's not like Miami has mad ball handlers either. That means more minutes for Dragic. That means more ball handling responsibilities for Jimmy Butler. So anyway, it's not an ideal situation for a team that's already struggling. Now you're telling me I got to lay points with these guys? Like, no, thank you. Spurs are nothing for me. And by the way, the Spurs have been playing actually pretty good basketball considering how inconsistent they've been. They've won, 3 in a row. They've won 7 of the last 10, including one game where they smacked up the Suns. So the Spurs have been playing pretty good basketball. I cannot say the same thing about the Heat. So if you're going to give me points with a team that's playing better basketball, I got to take that.
It's also a revenge spot. The Spurs got whipped up by Miami a week ago. I think that's definitely going to play tonight. Pop's not going to let him forget about that.
Gotcha. Yeah, they did. They were Heat were laying 1.5 on the road. I had sprinkled a little something on them, boy. I remember that game. You're right. They do have some revenge here. Heat coming off a loss. I don't know what to say about those guys. Like you say, they may not even be a full squad. Nunn's been their starting point guard lately, so if they actually need him, Hero. I don't know what those guys are doing. I don't even want to talk about the team. To be honest with you, if they do make the playoffs, it's not going to be any that. It's not the bubble. You getting your ass bounced this year. They might get 4-0, man. The same you ain't playing in one big arena this time, my guys. Next game up, Pelicans versus the Nuggets. The Pelicanos versus the Spicy Nuggets. Nuggets laying 4 down. It opened up at 5. It's down to 3.5 if I'm not mistaken here. Yeah, down to 3.5. Some 4s out there. What are we doing with this one, Junior? Like the Pelicanos here on the road, different squad on the road. Junior, you like them today?
No, I do not. I seem to be going against the steam a lot. I'm not really sure what's up with that. It's almost making me a little bit nervous, but I know the Pelicanos are playing a little bit better. But again, they caught the Clippers slipping. I'll say that. That game was actually pretty impressive. Not even so much because they beat the Clippers, but because they held the Clippers to like 103 points. But Paul George was clearly not right in that game. He only played like 20-something minutes, and he only took 11 shots. I mean, Marcus Morris had 17 shots. DeMarcus Cousins had 14 shots. Paul George had 11 shots, and you're telling me there's nothing wrong with him? So, that win is not as impressive as people might think it is because obviously Kawhi Leonard didn't play anyway. Not anyway. Also, the Nuggets are just a better team, and you're giving me what to me, J Money, looks very, very similar to Sale. If I'm going to be honest, I see there's 3.5s available right now. So it has to make it official. I don't have money on it yet, but as soon as I stop yapping, I'm about to log into my account and put some money in it. So Nuggets official play.
Jordan, what you think about that, my guy? I must say, the Pelicans, they play a lot different on the road than they do at the house. One of those teams. I mean, and it's nice when you find that because, there's a dichotomy there, Jordan. What you thinking in this one? Do we get road Pelicans here or what, my guy?
Yeah, it's tough to tell. I agree with Junior though. This line does seem like a value on the Nuggets, but I don't know if that's like a trap or not because if the Nuggets are here, I'll start with this. If the Pelicans are going to win, they're going to need Steven Adams to play tonight. That's first and foremost. If Steven Adams does not play, I have no idea how they're going to slow down Jokic. And if Jokic is cooking for 30-point triple-double tonight, there's no way the Pelicans are covering this game. I don't care how many points Zion Williamson or Brandon Ingram score in this one. So it's probably going to be a pass spot for me. I am really interested to see, though, because I think I would lay the points here if I had a bet on this game. But I'm really more interested in kind of Adams' status here. Because it may be a Jokic prop night if he doesn't play. Because, I mean, I just can't see – I can't see them slowing him down. What's the kid's? I can't remember the young kid's name. Sideshow Bob guy. Plays backup center for the Pelicans right now. But good luck. Good luck if Steven Adams doesn't play tonight. That's all I got to say.
Sideshow Bob? What the hell are you talking about?
What's that kid's name? What's their backup center's name? What's the Pelicans'
Jackson
backup
Hayes
center?
or what?
Yeah, Jackson Hayes. Yeah.
Sideshow Bob. I don't know.
Jay, obviously not a Simpsons fan.
I'm sorry. You had me tripped out there for a second. Okay, I think what you said. Carrot Top or what? Are you talking about Carrot Top or no? Somebody else?
No, Google Sideshow Bob after the show, Jay. Just Google
Bob.
it and then look at a picture of Jackson Hayes next to him.
He has like orange hair or something like that.
They got the same haircut. Jackson's shortened his a little bit this year. When he was a rookie, there was those comparisons.
I can dig you, man. I used to watch The Simpsons a long time ago, but you got me on that one. Yeah, it's an interesting game. Problem with the Nuggets is they're starting to lose all their guards. No Barton, no Morris, no Murray. So just be interested to see what happens in that game. True toss-up, in my opinion. If I had a lean, I would probably go with the Nuggets. Pelicans are a much different team on the road. It's Zion and Ingram, and if you can contain those two, hold them to around 20, 25, you double team both of those, let the rest of the team beat you, man. The rest of the team is trash. Next game up, my guys. Blazers versus Grizzlies. Man, Blazers versus Grizzlies. Man. This is a tough game. Let's say, guys. Junior, what you think about this one? The Grizzlies, they just went over there and owned them boys. They play a lot better defense. Can they bring it tonight and make it trifecta over them Blazers tonight, Junior?
I really, really want to take Memphis, to be honest with you, especially the way that they played against Denver. They kind of got smacked up by the Nuggets the other night. That was half of my parlay, so I was watching that game. They did not play well at all. Now they're catching the Blazers on a back-to-back situation. And the Blazers don't seem to match up so well with the Grizzlies for some reason. They really seem to have a lot of problems with this team. I really think that, as great as Dame is on offense, he ain't stopping John Moran on defense at all. So that, I'm not going to say cancels each other out, but that's not the advantage that it usually is for the Blazers. And they got a lot of guys that could D up on C.J. McCollum. So it's not an easy out for the Blazers. I kind of lean Grizzlies here. I don't know how much I want to be laying points with the Grizzlies, but I think Portland right now, like today, is closer to the team that's lost 7 of their last 9 games than the team that we saw last night. I think last night has a lot to do with who they played, and the Grizzlies are just better than that. So my lean right now is Grizzlies, but nothing official.
Got you, Jordan. This Jordan squad right here, the Grizzlies, Grind City. Jordan, I know you ride with the boys -1.5 at the house.
I'm getting there. The thing that kind of worries me is that they have beaten them twice. Have beaten Portland already twice this year. So it's like it's so tough to beat the same team three, especially like 3 times in the last 4 games. They just played like a few days ago twice. So it was in Portland. So it's different venue obviously now down on the FedEx Forum down on Beale Street, but. Not, Memphis does match up really well with this Portland team, though. I will say that. I want to mention something that Junior just said that kind of sparked my attention on this. I think it's one of the reasons why, in matchups where Dame Lillard has a tough guard, and anybody who's played basketball knows when you're exerting like a ton of energy on the defensive end, your offense is going to struggle most likely, unless you're just like Superman. Most nights, if you have somebody who's in front of you that's as good or better than you. It's going to be tough, even if they're not the best defender, which I think Ja's a pretty average defender. He's not like great or bad by any means, but he's going to make Dame work on that end, and also Dame's going to have to work even harder on the defensive end tonight. So, and then we saw that with their first 2 games against one another. So you got Portland coming in for the 3rd game in 4 nights back to back, whereas you got a rested Grizzlies team ready and waiting for you. It would be Grizzlies or nothing for me there. I haven't gotten there just yet because it's such a coin flip in this one. I think the Blazers are capable of playing well off the back-to-back. I'm not just going to auto-fade them just because they played a tough game last night. It's a short flight from Indy to Memphis. It's not too much travel. So lean Grizz, haven't gotten there yet, though. But that would be my play if I had one on here.
Got you. I'm just wondering, like, are the Grizzlies rested? They just came back to the house off a 7-game road trip. They probably been having so much fun at the house, man. They probably got to ice their knees and back, you know what I'm saying, just from having fun in the bedroom, my guys. So, and no telling what these guys been doing. I know. So the reason why the Grizzlies looked so bad the other day and the Nuggets, like, why nobody's looking at it, it was their 7th game in 11 days, like 3rd game in 4 nights, back-to-back, all this shit. Last game in road trip, all this. So now they get back to the house, and obviously coming off a terrible loss. But it is the first game back at the house off a 7-game road trip. And, I mean, the Blazers, they do have double revenge here, close proximity. They may have – sometimes when a team is on a low lose streak and they get off, the boys might have found their shot last night. Nobody played over 31 minutes. I know I'm a contrarian, but if I had to take this one, I'd be riding right. I was on the Blazers last night, and I said when they got up by 40, I said I might have to ride this way with them tomorrow. I think they'll go on a little streak here. Obviously, this is a huge revenge. I'd be on the Blazers here. I think everybody look at it and see Grizzlies easy. It is something worth note that both of you guys mentioned is a damn good point as well. The Grizzlies just play a lot better defense than the Blazers, and they match up well. They were getting whatever they wanted in the paint. Jaren Jackson Jr., I believe they got Valanciunas back now, so obviously that's a lot scary. And the Grizzlies just play a lot harder, so it's better. It's going to be offense versus defense tonight. Which one of them can win, my guy? My lean would be Blazers, but I understand why people would take the Grizzlies here. But Jordan said something really important. It's very tough to beat a team 3 times in a row, especially in 4 games, my guys. Picture like a playoff series having to go up 3-0. That's how the Blazers going to come, like they down 2-0. Just for what it's worth. Last game up. Clippers versus Suns. Now, this is a game right here. Shouldn't see any rest. Well, maybe from the Clippers soft ass, but they're coming off a terrible loss. I believe they already beat the Suns. So revenge spot for the Suns. They are coming back to the house back to the West off a long 5-game road trip, Junior. What you think about this one? You land the points with the Suns?
Oh, you know this. Yes, I'm landing points with the Suns. And I'm going to spice it up a little bit. I got Suns money line, Denver money line, plus 150, son. I'm on the Sun, son. We doing this. And you're right, they did lose to the Clippers. They got smacked up. Remember that big game that they had at the house against Utah? They won, but then they had to go fly to LA the next night and ended up getting smacked up. So it's a revenge game spot from a couple of weeks ago for the Suns. Clippers are a little bit wounded. Like I mentioned, Paul George just did not look right in that last game. I'm all over Phoenix right now, as usual.
Got you. Jordan, what you think about this? A tough game. You think which team? Do the Suns bounce back versus the Clippers? Do the Clippers have their number? Obviously, no Kawhi. Well, what we know right now is who's going to play. So I know Amir Coffey, he's questionable, Jordan. He might not play. Coffey, man. Nah, I'm messing with you. What are we going to do here, Jordan?
This is one where I'm going to be watching and waiting, not only the injury reports tonight, but just leading up to game time. Because there's just too much up in the air right now for both teams. You mentioned the Clippers injuries. I think both the Suns' top 2 forwards, Jay Crowder and who else, Saric, are both questionable. So I need the Suns to kind of have their guys, but that would be where I would go with this one here with the Suns. This is the time of year we talked about the teams that are tanking and not want to see draft picks. Let's go to the other opposite end of the spectrum here and look at the standings of the Western Conference. Like if you're the Clippers, do you want to play Dallas in the first round, or would you rather play a Lakers team that's not looking right and has injured LeBron James currently, and you have a de facto home series for the first round of the playoffs in a matchup? I think they would love to knock the Lakers out in the first round and have that on their resume going forward. If I'm the Clippers, I think I'd rather play the Lakers right now than Dallas, even though Dallas has kind of been up and down a little bit. I think the Mavs are a little bit more of a dangerous team right now, even though you'd have home court advantage. You'd have home court advantage in either series. So I'm kind of on the Suns with Junior. I haven't gotten there, but the Suns would be where I'd go with my money here. They're more motivated to win, I think, than the Clippers at this point with the Clippers injuries. Like all the other guys can be questionable. I think Batum is questionable as well. So tough for me to get involved here. It'd be Suns or nothing here, though.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Suns or nothing. You said something there. Obviously, not really worried about Langston Galloway, even though he is one of their could be backup ball handlers or 3-and-D type guys. Cyrus and Crowder obviously are kind of big for the
I
Suns.
need Crowder at least.
In the game versus the Knicks, I was like, damn, man, they missing some of their bench guys. I still think they're going to put it all together and win this one. But when they came out looking back, I say, because when the Suns have their bench, those guys, like, they could, like, win the NBA championship. I'm not playing. You see what I'm saying? So, but this is a little revenge spot. The part that I don't like is that it is the Suns coming back home from the East to the West. But obviously, I mean, they're in better form than the Clippers right now, and they have revenge. So, be Suns or nothing for me. Obviously, I mean, the Clippers not even at full squad, my guys. So, Suns are nothing for this better right here, Jordan. Break them off for your officials.
Only thing I just went official on, I went ahead and grabbed Sixers -8. Too many injuries for the Hawks right now for me to say me to trust them here. So I'm laying the points with the Sixers here today, and then I'm going to strong lean on the Spurs +4.5 and the Suns Grizzlies -2, Suns -4. I might jump on with that one with Junior here, but for me, Grizzlies and Spurs are my two leans. Sixers official.
Got you, Junior. What you thinking, my guy? What we doing, brother?
Yeah, I gotta shout out Paul Russell in the chat, my boy. You gotta put it down while you're watching the show. Gas up after the show. My guy said, "I'm fading the Clippers and the Suns. They played each other, son. I think you faded yourself." Smoke later,
hey,
bro.
You lost the juice.
You gotta concentrate.
You just lost the juice. You took both teams.
Yeah, bro. I'm trying not to laugh when I read that. Anyways, I'm on the Nuggets. I'm on the Knicks. I'm on the Suns, and I'm on the Nuggets and the Suns moneyline parlay +150. Let's get it.
Got you. I like the Lakers, Knicks, and Blazers, my guys. They will be right now. The top would be Lakers. Not sure which one I'm gonna make the top, but out of those three, it's gonna be one. Lakers, Knicks, Blazers. I think all three of them come to play today. Would be surprised to see all three of them get it done, my guys. I'm thinking that Lakers though is probably gonna be the strongest. Obviously, I'm waiting to the lineups, my brothers. Waiting to the lineups. That's the game. That's the first game that we have to win versus the NBA in the books today. Get past all these questionable tags. I'm starting to see it for really, really is, my guys. We appreciate everybody for tuning in. That's Jordan Sharp. That's Junior Browne. I'm Jay Bunny, your host. We appreciate everybody for tuning in. Hit the like button, subscribe. We back tomorrow.